Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. Today we are looking at the topic eye for an eye. Is it true? Human beings always pick what will suit their desire best in whatever situation. In this case, the verse that talks about eye for an eye is and has always been used to refer to the entire population and the punishment for causing certain injuries. This, however, is not true. And although these words are found in the Bible, they by no means refer to compensation for every injury caused to everyone. This verse is in Exodus chapter 21. This particular verse only referred to a very specific occurrence where two men are fighting, and in the course of their fighting, they injure a pregnant woman. This is what Exodus 21, verse 22 to 25 states. Now, suppose two men are fighting, and in the process, they accidentally strike a pregnant woman so that she gives birth prematurely. If no further injury results, the man who struck the woman must pay the amount of compensation the woman's husband demands, and the judges approve. But if there is further injury, the punishment must match the injury. A life for a life, an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, a hand for a hand, and a foot for a foot, a burn for a burn, a wound for a wound, a bruise for a bruise. This was a compensation given to the husband of a woman who suffered such an injury during this kind of a fight. However, if you read the whole of Exodus chapter 21, you will discover that these were judgments to be declared for injuries caused to people, either free, slaves, or servants. These injuries could have been caused by other people or animals. They also spells out the person responsible for the damages if an animal caused such an injury. Because everybody liked to use the example of the judgment for the pregnant woman, Jesus also used this particular verse to talk about forgiveness and not taking on the energy of others, but be your own person with your own values. The wickedness of others should never turn you into a wicked person. Jesus in Matthew chapter 5 verse 38 to 41 says that, "You have heard that it was said, eye for an eye and tooth for tooth. But I tell you, do not resist an evil person. If anyone slaps you on the right cheek, turn to them the other cheek also. And if anyone wants to sue you and take your shirt, hand over your coat as well. If anyone forces you to go 1 mile, go with them 2 miles." If people would like to use the law or their power to take undue advantage of you, always know that the best way is not to get into that energy with them, but remain authentically who you are. In this way, you take them out of balance, and it's like putting hot coal on their head. Matching their energy does not guarantee a win, because that is their territory and they know the terrain very well. Remember, the principle that Jesus was introducing to the people at that point is found in Romans 8:28, which states that, "And we know that all things work together for good, to them that love God, to them who are the called according to his purpose." If you match the negative energy, there will be no winning, because this will create a bigger negative energy, which will affect more than just the two who are involved in the situation. This may drag in families, friends, and even neighbors into the situation. The injury will therefore be greater than if one person had given the opposite kind of energy from what the other person was giving, and by that disarm them. This means that just because someone is wicked, they should not turn you into a wicked person. The wickedness of another person should not turn your goodness to wickedness. The bad character of a person must not make you a bad person. We see this all the time when people feel that they have been wronged, and the need for revenge normally shows a certain quality that is present in the other person. It shows that there is no difference between the two of them. The desire for revenge shows that there is no difference between the two. And even the wronged person, if put in the same position, would actually cause the same harm to the other person. If you believe that everyone will reap what they sow, you can only rely on the legal system to correct the mistakes that have been done by the wrongdoer and even rectify behavior. The legal system also will make sure that any injury will be compensated. This means that the injured party gets reimbursement and the person who causes the injury gets the punishment for their action, and at the same time learns a lesson which will teach them to change their behavior. Now, after this, do you still think that the statement eye for an eye is relevant for all situations? Do you believe that everyone should get exactly the repercussion for their actions? Let us continue discussing this in the comment section. I hope you are able to get a peaceful resolution to all misunderstandings, because we are all capable of causing harm. The intentions, however, are usually different for different individuals. Have a peaceful time and see you next time.